What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's special edition of AEW Blood and Guts, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a top AEW star's contract expires August 1st, Blood and Guts Chairshot causes controversy, a WWE star returning from illness, is CM Punk's WWE contract expiring, a Hall of Famer removed from the WWE roster, is a former boxing heavyweight champion's son WWE bound, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. As always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good is number 1, bringing back the AEW that fans remember. A surprise debuts, wild brawls, and great matches. That's what brought fans to AEW in the first place, but somewhere along the way, the promotion lost its focus. The last few weeks of Dynamite have been a return to form, but last night's show excelled. Let's just hope AEW continues with this approach, as the company can't afford to continue losing fans to a white-hot WWE. Number 2, Blood and Guts delivers again. Last night's Blood and Guts double cage match was an exciting, violent, and bloody affair that raised the bar for future matches and shows that stipulation matches aren't inherently bad, but that it's about how they're executed. There were some gruesome spots, but that's part of what separates this match from others and what makes AEW different than WWE. Number 3, MJF unveils the America Championship. MJF's title win celebration shows why he's still wrestling's best heel, as he pressed all the right buttons to enrage fans, including insulting them, unveiling his own version of the title, the American Championship, and even unfurling an American flag. That was complete with MJF's face in place of the traditional 50 stars in Canada. And no one plays a scumbag so well, and he turned up the heat for his upcoming match against Will Ospreay. Credit to Ospreay too for playing the determined babyface who calls out the heel for their lies and cheating and making the fans eager for the rematch. Number 4, Camille debuts. Camille's debut was flawless. The former NWA Women's Champion looked like a badass as she effortlessly put Britt Baker in the torture rack. Now that Camille's made a statement, it's time for AEW to follow up with a strong program that hopefully doesn't see her used as nothing more than an obstacle for Britt Baker to overcome to get at Mercedes Moné. Ideally, AEW will find a way to put Camille into the AEW Women's Championship picture as a contender. Number 5, Britt vs. Shida Classic. Dr. Britt Baker vs. Hikaru Shida served two purposes well. The first was giving her fans a reminder that AEW does have some solid female workers. The second was reminding fans just how good Dr. Britt Baker is and that Mercedes Moné has plenty of reasons to want to avoid giving her a TBS championship match. Number 6, excellent build for Toni Storm vs. Mariah May. AEW continued its brilliant build-up of Toni Storm vs. Mariah May, with Storm disguising herself to get close to our rival. It's incredible how AEW has taken what looked like a meaningless match and turned it into a must-see one. If fans didn't know better, it was like AEW flipped a switch from bad booking to good booking in just 1 week. Things don't work that easily, but it's encouraging to see AEW putting the work into improving its women's division. Number 7, Jeff Jarrett's pep talk with Danielson was very well done. Jeff Jarrett's pep talk with Bryan Danielson was a good use of Jarrett, who in some ways is the company's elder statesman. Double J doesn't have the baggage of a Ric Flair, and while he's no 16-time world champion, Jarrett's wrestling accomplishments are enough that fans can believe younger wrestlers should listen to him. And a good build-up for All In. Dynamite succeeded in many ways, including building up AEW's upcoming All In show without Dynamite resembling a 2-hour commercial. Matches were made for this show, but they flowed from the events on Dynamite rather than announcers repeatedly running down the card or AEW playing endless hype videos. That was good. What about the bad? Is too much? A Blood and Guts was a superior show, including the main event, the undercard, and everything in between. However, having Jack Perry take an unprotected chair shot to the head was a bit stupid and senseless. Given all we know about concussions, no wrestling promotion, whether it's a so-called outlaw indie mud show or a national promotion, they shouldn't be allowing their wrestlers to take shots like that. Now this was in the bad and not the ugly for one good reason, and we'll get to that in a moment. Now there was nothing downright ugly. Even last night's squashes served as a purpose and were actually kept short. Right now it's going to be hard for AEW to follow up with next week's episode of Dynamite. This was a very good show. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first we looks at a top AEW star's contract expiring August 1st. Now is Bryan Danielson leaving AEW when his current contract expires? If so, Danielson could be free to work on 2nd August. This news comes straight from the American Dragon himself, who recently appeared on AEW's YouTube channel and revealed Bryan Danielson has confirmed that his AEW wrestling contract expires August 1st. That's true, August 1st actually, next Thursday. my wrestling contract is up, which also happens to be my son's 4th birthday. When I signed this contract, me and Brie talked about how this would be the last wrestling contract I would sign. Part of me is wondering what life is like after this. Part of me is excited about that. Theoretically, Danielson could leave AEW and go work wherever he wants, but he doesn't appear to have plans other than his AEW World Championship match against Swerve Strickland on 25th August All In pay-per-view. The current #1 contender for AEW's top title explained, but right now, even though Wembley All in London is after this, I still have to focus on that. That's gotta be my focus, but yeah, it's a wild time. While the thought of Danielson showing up at SummerSlam is very tantalizing, Danielson is very unlikely to do so. AEW had a similar situation in 2022 when Jon Moxley was AEW interim champion but was not under contract. Consequently, Mox could have showed up in the WWE but didn't do so out of respect to AEW and his commitments to staying there. That's likely the case with Danielson, and were he to show up at SummerSlam, it will mark a change in the relationship between AEW and the WWE, as they'd be collaborating rather than trying to steal talent. What do you guys think Bryan Danielson should do? Should he retire altogether? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up is CM Punk's contract expiring. There's more details coming in on the rumors that CM Punk is working to restructure his WWE contract. I previously noted that Punk is looking to work out a new deal and that he'd like to finish his career in WWE. Whilst Dave Meltzer reported that Punk's contract is expiring soon, that doesn't seem to be the case, as PW Insider reports that it's the WWE that wants a new deal with Punk, as well as the reasons why. Numerous WWE sources, including one very high up internally, have confirmed to PWInsider.com that Punk and WWE signed a 3-year deal the night he returned in Chicago at Survivor Series 2023. The deal will carry him through November 2026, not counting any time tacked on from when he was out rehabbing his Royal Rumble injury. Any claims that the initial deal is coming up or that they signed a short-term deal and knew that they'll be discussing a new deal at this point is 100% incorrect. They also added, WWE and Punk are currently discussing a new contract. WWE approached Punk about working out a new deal. They're seeking to lock in a bigger deal. Why they approach Punk if a deal is locked in already? New World, huge numbers, merch, and socials was the terminology used. CM Punk's current run in WWE has been a smash success, and the WWE likely wants to lock Punk down for as long as they possibly can. Next up, Blood and Guts Chairshot causes controversy. AEW's Blood and Guts main event was an action-packed and exciting match, but it appears that the bout is being overshadowed by what many fans and even some wrestlers believe was an unnecessary and ill-advised spot. In case you missed it, Darby Allin handcuffed rival Jack Perry to the cage and proceeded to hit him in the head with a chair shot. It's long been established that these types of shots to the head are dangerous and can cause concussions or worse, which is why they're rarely used or even banned in some promotions. WWE announcer Corey Graves, whose career prematurely ended due to concussions, tweeted his concerns. This is not meant to sound judgmental or incite us versus them or question anybody's passion or talent or intentions. This is coming from a guy whose career ended from a few too many accidental headshots. The art of this business is protecting ourselves and each other. Trust me, the gaps in memory are not worth it, I promise. Graves deleted the post, but the point was made. As for the chair shot, Brian Alvarez noted on the Wrestling Observer Radio that the chair was gimmicked, hence why this wasn't in the Downright Ugly. Well, I can tell you this, it was one of the shaved down chairs. I don't know how shaved down that is, I don't know how soft that is, but it was a gimmick chair. But still, they waffled that dude with that chair. While some believe that Corey Graves was out of line with his tweet, Dave Meltzer actually spoke on it saying, I know he deleted this post, but I was thinking the same thing. Even with a shaved down chair, there are far too many wrestlers over the decades who had issues in later life, let alone Graves whose career ended due to concussions. It's not a tribal thing, it's just something not needed in today's pro wrestling. What do you guys think of this spot? Was it too much? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a WWE star returning from illness. Could multiple-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Raquel Rodriguez be back soon? Rodriguez has been sidelined for some time as she had to deal with mast cell activation syndrome. However, PW Insider is reporting she could be back soon. However, there's no word on whether the WWE has any plans for her return. Next up, a former boxing champion's son WWE bound. Could WWE fans see the son of former boxing champion Evander Holyfield in a WWE ring? PW Insider reports that Evander's son Elijah will participate in the WWE's tryouts during the week of SummerSlam. Evander is no stranger to the WWE as he's competed in a boxing match against Matt Hardy on the 18th August 2007 episode of Saturday Night's Main Event. And finally, a WWE Hall of Famer removed from the roster. Last but not least, the WWE has updated its active roster to remove a Hall of Fame superstar whose last match was in February 2023. WrestleTalk is reporting that the Hall of Famer is former Women's and Divas champion Beth Phoenix, who is now only listed in the Hall of Fame section, not the current roster section. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including our review of Dynamite. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.